you've talked about China paying for what's happening with coronavirus, possibly forgiving U.S. debt. So I wanted to find out how you would go about doing that through the legislative process, if there's anything Congress could do to get that to actually happen.
Well, as far as what the process is going to be, we do not know at this point. What we do know is that there is a growing opinion among our colleagues that China needs to be, first of all, held to account for what they've done, and secondly, they need to pay for what this has cost in lives and livelihoods and suffering and what it has cost our economy. Now, we do know that China owns $1 trillion or holds $1 trillion of our debt. So waiving that would be a good, solid step. There are other things that we can also do to make certain that the message gets across. One of those is returning manufacturing to the United States. And so many people have realized how vulnerable we are because our pharmaceuticals, and I have the legislation that would return manufacturing of those active pharmaceutical ingredients to the United States so that we're never caught in the position of not being able to get something we need in order to protect the people of our country. And that there are others that are focused on other supply chain issues, and they feel the same way, that we need to return manufacturing to the United States.
You've probably seen the reports that the U.S. spends more than $80 billion a year on intelligence gathering, and that there's a unit of the CIA dealing with medical issues in addition to the National Center for Medical Intelligence. Why do you think, what's your view at this time, why do you think the U.S. government didn't see the COVID-19 pandemic coming, at least at the beginning of 2020?
We can all try to Monday morning quarterback this, or we can just say, look, there are plenty of federal agencies that have become so large and so bureaucratic that they're not flexible enough, and that enough attention was not paid at the outset. As Dr. Fauci has said, the testing activated too slowly, and so we were a little late on this. With that said, it would have been helpful, as in the case of SARS or in the case of Ebola, that you had the country step forward more quickly and say, we have an issue. Certainly, different countries, different things, but you look at Ebola, you look at SARS, and you see that they stepped forward earlier in the process to say something was an issue.
Do you think there should be a formal congressional investigation that looks into the source of COVID-19 and why the U.S. government didn't see it coming at the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020 as a way to potentially avoid the economic impact that it's had and the amount of casualties?
I think there definitely should be an investigation into the World Health Organization and how they have politicized this process.
Yeah, the World Health Organization, I saw you've put out a few tweets critical of them. Could you talk about any steps you want Congress to take on that as far as an investigation or any other action?
I think that getting an investigation started would be the right thing to do.